Why is it that my subscriber count is growing but my views aren't? After all, isn't it the views that are the bread and butter of YouTube? Subscribers are not created equally. I've mentioned this before and I'll go in more depth in the future. There's this thing that I've coined as the influencer funnel, which basically gets someone from seeing one of your videos down to anxiously waiting for whatever upload you're going to put out next. Just because someone subscribes to your channel does not mean that they suddenly know who you are or care at all about what you're doing. It basically just means that they liked one of your videos and now they're going to give you a chance. Many channels out there die quickly because they have a viral video which gets them subscribers, and then they don't follow any kind of path or stay within any kind of niche, and then none of the viewers come back for more. One way to help people on the path to caring about the value that you're providing is to have multiple channels of content. And I don't necessarily mean having multiple YouTube channels. What I do mean is marketing channels. This can be pointing your followers to other social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and even Twitter, and especially getting them to higher value channels like a website, an email list, a Patreon, a podcast if you have one, a book that you've written, or a product or service that you're selling. Basically, the more of you that they're seeing, the more they'll care about who you are and what you're doing. Speaking of marketing channels, my little channel won't grow unless you decide that you like this content enough to hit the like button down below. The next way to connect with your following is through engagement. The thank you economy is very powerful. I've been seeing this firsthand with Neurotic Mom. She goes through and replies to every single comment on her Instagram, which then gets her followers to feel like they're being heard, and in turn they start commenting more and more, which makes her engagement go through the roof, and the algorithm on Instagram recommends her content to more people because it can tell that people like her content. Basically, just by saying thanks, it gets the algorithm to aggressively promote her page. So basically, if you're getting comments on your YouTube videos, make every effort you can to engage back with your audience and to reply to the comments that they're putting on there. If you're getting emails, try to make time to reply to these people. They wouldn't be emailing you unless they cared about what you're doing. Basically, what it means is people do not like to say things without being heard, so make sure that your following knows that they're being heard. And then the last thing is authenticity, and I talk about this a lot. I'm going to continue to talk about it because it is just so important. People can sniff out lies so easily, especially when someone's pretending to be an expert about something that they're not. Freely admit when you don't know something. Paradoxically, people will respect you more for being honest than if you had lied to them in the first place. Neistat said, "More often than not, I find myself in situations where I have no idea what I'm doing, and I feel no shame in admitting that." If you constantly know everything, then chances are you're simply not pushing yourself as hard as you should. Push yourself into situations where you don't know where to go or what to do, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Thanks for being a part of this while I try to figure out how to build a community of my own. Let's try something different. I'm gonna write something that I don't know in the comments, and I invite you to do the same. And if we don't know the answers, let's help each other out. As always, feel free to subscribe to get notified of more content in the future.
Natalie, trust in me. Like I'm your only brother. Like I'm your only friend in the world. We can pretend we don't exist.